My dear friends, a very, very heartfelt welcome to you. Let's do 1 or 2 ohms, deep breath. One more time. And my dear friends, on this glorious day, let's welcome our beautiful musicians, Katy and Bayan.
Welcome, friends. Good morning. We're so delighted to be invited to share music with you again. I came a few weeks ago, a couple of months ago, and it was so uplifting. And we sang together. If you were here on that day, we sang songs together, and it was so lovely. So we're hoping that you'll sing with us. The lyrics are in your program. We have 3 songs to share with you today. And the first one is one that we sang before. So if you were here before, you may have heard it. And if you were not, you'll learn it very easily. So no performance here, but just sharing and welcoming us all to this space. I invited my friend Bayan to come, and he'll play piano and lead us off. So we'll sing the first song, which is Blessed is the Spot.
Cool. Let's see if I remember. Blessed is the spot,
And the house and the place and the city and the heart and the mountain and the refuge and the cave and the valley and the land and the sea and the island and the meadow, where mention of God hath been made, and his praise glorified, glorified, glorified. His praise glorified, glorified, glorified.
blessed
Is the spot, and the house, and the place, and the city, and the heart, and the mountain, and the refuge, and the cave, and the valley, and the land, and the sea, and the island, and the meadow, where mention of God hath been made, and his praise glorified, 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 and his praise glorified, glorified, glorified. Blessed is the spot, and the house, and the place, and the city, and the heart, and the mountain, and the refuge, and the cave, and the valley, and the land, and the sea, and the island, and the meadow, where mention of God hath been made, and his praise glorified, 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 and his praise glorified, 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 and his praise glorified, glorified, glorified.
Let's go like this. Thank you so much, Sister Katy, Brother Bayan. You know, Katy has been with us since 2005, 2006, long time. It's like almost like a generation. It was a lucky year. That's wonderful, wonderful. And Bayan has been with us since 2026. So my dear friends, we have a tradition of honoring the first people, honoring the indigenous, honoring the land. So I'm going to ask Brother Chris to make this wonderful dedication.
Good morning. Thank you. It's great to see you again, Katy. And thank you for your music, Brian. Wonderful. I would like to offer some prayers of intention and welcoming to our honored ancestors. Now, ancestors can be blood related. They can be folks that have helped us through different books or teachings, classes that we've taken. There may be many different kinds of ancestors that we may draw on in our hearts today. I'd like us to think about some of those people, whether or not there are parents or other relations or spiritual teachers or other people who have guided us in their kindness, in their compassion. Let us gather those folks in our hearts, think about them, and welcome them here. Blessed be to our ancestors. I'd also like to think of this as a sort of a continuum where, in addition to those who have come before us, there are those who may be coming after us, either through our, relations in our family, or maybe we come in contact with them getting gas or going into a store and finding a person there who is helpful in our the dealings that we have of our day. So I'd like us to think of those who may be coming after us. I believe that this creation is a continuum, and that all who come after us are inheriting the world that we are leaving them for them. May their paths also be sacred. May their wisdom also be accounted for. Welcome to our descendants and ancestors. Blessed be. One more welcoming that I'd like to do, that we do at the opening of all of our services over these past few years, that is honoring the First Peoples. This land is land that was originally in the Duwamish territory, and it was has not been ceded to us. It has not been conquered by us. I believe that the Duwamish people and the other Coast Salish people that work this land, sacrifice for this land, help nurture this land, their contribution also deserves remembrance. As part of our work, we do give an offering to the Duwamish people in their long journey of coming to this time. they have not actually been recognized by the U.S. government as many other tribes and groups have. They have a website called realrentduwamish.org, and there's also a lovely place on Marginal Way called the Longhouse. It's well worth your visit, and you may find that there is much to learn from those people in that space. I'd like to offer a prayer, and you may join me if you wish. I'm putting my hand on my heart again to gather all the joys and sorrows that I brought to this moment today. Breathing deeply and thinking of all those ways that have helped me come here today and may influence me in different ways coming in this week. But when I am thinking about this, I'm going to raise up my hand, and I'd like to offer these joys and sorrows to the Creator. And as the Creator pays attention to that, he or she may give me a gift, which I would then return to my heart and hopefully be able to find use for that. So one more time, we're going to raise up our hands if you want to join me with that, and say the sacred word, oh. So one more time, thinking of all that has brought us here today. One more deep breath. Oh. Blessed be. Thank you.
Brother Chris, thank you so much. And the tradition continues. We honor the divine feminine. We have seats up here in front. Please come. Brother Chris, could you give them the handouts? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay, my dear friends, honoring the divine feminine in the spirituality of Islam, we always started by honoring Maryam, Mary, who has an entire chapter in the Quran. Then the next one is Asiya, the wife of the Pharaoh who rescued Moses from the water. Third one is Khadija, the wife of the Prophet Muhammad, who, by the way, was 15 years senior to him in age. Okay, so we say Hazrati Bibi, meaning, oh beloved person, female person, Hazrati Bibi Maryam, Assalamu alaikum, peace and greetings be upon you. Then we become silent and she replies, Wa alaikum assalam. And from the other realm she says, peace and greetings be upon you. Some of you know the tune. Hazrati Bibi Maryam, Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum. She replies, Wa alaikum assalam. Wa alaikum assalam. Asiya. Hazrati Bibi Asiya. Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum. She replies, Wa alaikum assalam. Wa alaikum assalam. Khadija. Hazrati Bibi Khadija. Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum. She replies, Wa alaikum assalam. Wa alaikum assalam. Becoming very still, allowing those angelic vibrations to perfume our heart, will we again request these two generations of musicians play music for us.
We're so nicely warmed up, and what a musical community it is here.
Music in all that we do.
So we invite you to sing along with us. The second song, all three of these songs come from the sacred writings of the Baha'i Faith. And this one is from the writings of Abdul Baha. Where there is love, nothing is too much trouble, and there is always time. So that quote is from the writings of Abdul Baha. The final word that you'll see there, whoa, is not from the sacred writings of the Baha'i Faith. That part has been added later. Musician's license. Where there is love, where there is love, nothing is too much trouble, nothing is too much trouble. Where there is love, where there is love, nothing is too much trouble. Nothing is too much trouble, and there is always time, time, time. There is always time, time, time. There is always time, time, time. Whoa. There is always time, time, time. There is always time, time, time. There is always time, time, time. Whoa. Where there is love, where there is love, nothing is too much trouble, nothing is too much trouble. Where there is love, where there is love, nothing is too much trouble, nothing is too much trouble, and there is always time, time, time. There is always time, time, time. There is always time, time, time. Whoa. There is always time, time, time. There is always time, time, time. There is always time, time, time. Whoa. One more time. Where there is love, where there is love, nothing is too much trouble, nothing is too much trouble. Where there is love, where there is love, nothing is too much trouble, nothing is too much trouble, and there is always time, time, time. There is always time, time, time. There is always time, time, time. Whoa. There is always time, time, time. There is always time, time, time. There is always time, time, time. Whoa. There is always time, time, time. There is always time, time, time. There is always time, time, time. Whoa. Where there is love. Thank you all.
Okay, let's again go like this. To this beautiful music. So, my dear friends, once again, a very, very heartfelt welcome to you, to those who are present here, and to those wonderful people on cyberspace. Salams, wonderful, good to see you. So my friends, we always do, I'm a chant junkie. Let's do a chant. Allahu Allah. Praising God, knowing that when we praise God, God doesn't become holy, we become holy. Allahu Allah, Allahu Allah, Allahu Allah, Allahu Allah, Allahu Allah, Allahu Allah. Just the beloved women. Beloved men. Allahu Allah, Allahu Allah, Allahu Allah, Allahu Allah. One softly. Allahu Allah, Allahu Allah. I meant the entire family actually. Allahu Allah, Allahu Allah. Now one softly. Allahu Allah, Allahu Allah. Twice aloud. Allahu Allah, Allahu Allah. Last time. Allahu Allah, Allahu Allah. And just becoming very still, allowing those vibrations to go deep inside of us. Okay, my dear friends, the topic is from that book, Zen and the Art of Saving the Planet, by Thich Nhat Hanh, Buddhist book. The topic is self and interconnectedness, self. So the question I ask myself, ask you, who am I? It's a philosophical question, it's a literal question, a very mysterious question. I love that story of the mullah, that fictional mullah. Remember? You've heard this many times. He goes to a bank in China for a transaction, and the banker finally asks him, "Sir, can you prove your identity to prove you are who you say you are?" What does the mullah do? He reaches into his pocket, takes out a pocket mirror, and looks into it. For a long time says, "Yup, that's me all right, I certify it." The whole point being, who am I? You see, I have within me, and there's so many different theories, but I have within me my personality. What is a personality? The Buddha described it as the personality is nothing more than a bundle of conditioned reactions to life's circumstances. Ask yourself, you don't have to agree with that, but does it resonate for you? The personality is nothing more than a bundle of conditioned reactions to life's circumstances. But the traditions say, all the traditions say, you're far more than that. Besides your personality, you're also that divine spark. In the Quran, Allah says, "I have put my breath into every single human being." Within me is also, beside my personality, my Christ nature, Buddha nature, Elohim nature, Allah nature. Again, ask yourself, does that, as Rumi says, does that splash in my heart? Is that true? Then why is it I'm not aware of my divine spark? I spend my life in what is called, a message from beyond. I got the message, God, thank you. God says, answer the question, why are we not aware of our divine spark? Think about it, why? If the traditions say within you is your Christ nature, Buddha nature, Elohim nature, Allah nature, why can't I become aware of that? as Americans say, beats me. I don't know. I just don't know. But it seems that is the purpose of, one of the main reasons we are here on planet Earth, to begin to connect, go beyond our personality and connect with our divine spark. You know, there's a wonderful verse in Islamic spirituality where Allah says, between me and you, beloved one, God says to each one of us, between me and you there are no veils, but between you and me there are 1,000 veils. Can I remove those veils of my ego? I, me. But to come back to my question, why don't I know who I really am? Rumi examined this question. He said, at least a few reasons I can give you. One is, see, conventionally, we judge the other. You judge me, I judge you, by what he calls the outer reality. How much money does he have? What's his profession? You know, what kind of car does he drive? Superficial, outer reality. We miss out on the inner reality. My Christ nature, Buddha nature, Elohim nature, Krishna nature. Second reason, Rumi says, God gave you that breath of God. God gave you that divine spark freely. Just gave it to you, gifted it to you. Then Rumi says, does someone who inherits wealth appreciate the value of wealth? Does someone who inherits wealth really appreciate the value of wealth? Second reason. Third reason, says Rumi, is, Brother Jamal, it's okay, don't stress yourself. That's why you are here on planet Earth. And these famous words are, foredoomed to forget so you might remember. Foredoomed to slumber so you might awaken. You know, we're studying this Buddhist book this entire year, and this is the crux of Buddhism. When the Buddha was asked by his followers, or actually followers and actually other people who were so puzzled, Sir, Lord Buddha, who are you? Are you a god? Are you a wizard? Are you a sage? Some of you know his answer. What did the Buddha say? Go ahead. Yeah, but Sister Gretchen has the answer. The Buddha said, I am just awake. I am awake. So can I awaken? So I would like to repeat two practices I share in all my classes. Some of you are taking that class on Buddhism that I'm teaching. To have, when you talk about relationship, the most important relationship, really, besides having relationship with the invisible world, is relationship with yourself. You see, every relationship outside of myself, every relationship outside of myself, all the sages say, is a reflection of the quality, the timber, the fiber of the relationship I have with myself. Which is why in every service I always do that one meditation, telling your heart, I love you. I really love you. Or you are loved. You are loved. And the second practice we share in all the classes is to have a continuous relationship with yourself rooted in compassion by what is called sacred naming. So since childhood, I always call myself, what do I call myself? Brother Jamal. But always with mercy, with compassion. And I and Brother Jamal have continuous conversations. If I get angry, a voice comes up within me. But Brother Jamal, please restrain yourself. We'll take care of this later on. Now, who is talking to who, I don't know. But it really works. It really works, having this wonderful internal conversation with yourself. So as I keep saying, I repeat, please have a relationship with yourself. So just be with that. Just be with that for a few moments. What is my relationship with myself? You know, I think I've lost some weight. I keep pulling my pants up. Hold on a second. Let me tighten my... That's good news. And I'll be losing weight even further because Ramadan is coming. You have to fast. Okay, my friends. Now, so having thought of that, how about what Thich Nhat Hanh said, relationship with your ancestors? The genes of your father, your mother, grandmother, grandfather from both sides, their grandparents from both other, just continue, are within you. So what is a relationship with your father and mother? If it was wonderful, like I was blessed by having really beautiful parents, joyous, loving parents. So I daily pray for my parents, and that deepens, ennobles something in me. But I have heard, I'm looking this way in that counseling room, heard from so many people who've had very difficult relationship with their parents, including have done some therapy with incest. Why should I honor my parents? But we need to heal that. Because if I heal that, not only am I healing myself, I'm healing retroactively everyone before me. And I'm creating wonderful, joyous situation for futuristic descendants. So I ask you, what is your relationship with your ancestors? If it's not joyous, heartwarming, please heal that in any way you can. Little by little. Don't rush into it, but heal it. It'll unburden you in ways you cannot even imagine. I repeat those words. It will heal you, unburden you in ways you cannot even imagine. Just ask yourself, in what ways can I deepen my relationship with my ancestors, starting with parents? Okay, my friends, next one is relationship with others. I love the Rumi's poetry. Rumi didn't write. He mostly uttered. He would go into a trance and utter. One of his wonderful poetic utterances is, oh God, you have created this I, you, we, they. Oh God, you have created this I, you, we, they to play the game of adoration with yourself. The Quran says, if Allah wanted, Allah could have made all of us one single community. But God chose to create diversity for one primary reason, so you might get to know the other on a human level. But the Quran has another wonderful verse, but wonderful meaning is very insightful. And in the other verse, Quran says, Allah says to humanity, we have created some of you to be a trial for others. It was meant to be. We have created some of you to be a trial for others, starting in your own family, extended family. So I said interconnection. So this book that we are reading is by Thich Nhat Hanh. He has this wonderful poetry who says, it's a sad poem. In fact, sometimes when I say this, some people come up later and say, please don't repeat that because I just feel it hurts me. So what is that poem? The poem is, I am the 12-year-old refugee girl. This is during after the Vietnam War, boat people. They were all escaping. I am the 12-year-old refugee girl having been raped by a pirate. I throw myself in the ocean and I get drowned. But I am also that sea pirate who did this terrible act, whose heart is not yet open. I am also that. Please, please, please. The heading of the poetry is, please call me by my true names. Call me by my true names. You see, we are all interconnected. If I think of what I learned most in my relationship with others, it was really after 9/11, 2001, when my hair was black, more black. When I used to go to so many presentations, especially I would go to conservative Christian invitations, and sometimes it was very difficult, heckling. It was sometimes very organized, shouting some really terrible things about Islam, about the Prophet Muhammad, very pejorative, and I would get angry. But I learned something as the days and weeks and months and years went by in dealing with all these presentations. I realized, in dealing with others who are difficult, Brother Jamal, control your anger. Righteous anger is beautiful. You need that to motivate you to take right action. But if it's uncontrolled, like in today's environment, my anger sometimes gets uncontrolled of all these political situations. If it's uncontrolled, it'll consume you. It'll destroy you. So I learned, those teachings came back to me when the Quran says, when you're angry, lower your voice. I would shout at them also when they would shout at me. But I learned from the Quran, lower your voice. And Rumi says, yes, lower your voice. It is rain that grows flowers, not thunder. It is rain that grows flowers, not thunder. And the other insight from Al-Ghazali, very famous Sufi master, he said, especially in anger, Brother Jamal, change the tone of your voice. That really helped me a lot in my dealings with people who are difficult. And my ministry is to deal with people who are difficult. So change the tone of your voice. Al-Ghazali says, the tone of your voice in periods of anger is more important than the content of what you're saying. So lower your voice in your relationship with those who are adversarial, in your family or outside of you, and change the tone of your voice. Keep it gentle, even though you're angry. You'll have fantastic results. What else did I learn in this relationship with others? When I did finally meet with some people who were very Islamophobic, I learned how critical it is to share 3 cups of tea. Something I talk about all the time. What is the first cup of tea? Brother Jamal, no matter what it is they're saying, listen to them. Don't interrupt them as they're speaking. Something I'm still not learned fully. I do interrupt a lot. But the voice within me, Brother Jamal, just listen. So the first cup of tea is listen. Again, I love Rumi's words. What is listening? He says, metaphorically, listening is like putting your head on the person's chest and sinking into the answer. I love that. Metaphorically, putting your head on the person's chest and sinking into the answer. First cup of tea was what? Listen. Second was respect. Doesn't matter how adversarial, how terrible, how pejorative their remarks are. Respect meaning make a distinction, Brother Jamal, between behavior and being. You're angry at their behavior. That's terrible. Deal with it. Like Kabir says, don't allow yourself to be abused. Protect yourself. Take the right action. But as you take the right action, I beg you, says Kabir, don't keep this person's essence out of your heart. I'm angry at their behavior, but their essence, the divine spark, is Christ nature, Buddha nature, Elohim nature. Take the right action. But with what energy are you taking the right action? And just this discernment in your mind and heart as you're taking the right action, the sages say, has the power to shift heaven and earth. Listen, respect, distinction between behavior and being, and connect. So when I meet persons who are anti-Semitic or Islamophobic, I don't get, or they don't like my politics, I don't get into those discussions immediately. Connect with them on a human level. Get to know them as human beings, family, aspirations, joys, sorrows of life, and sincerely, with humility. Really want to get to know them, as the Quran says, get to know them on a human level. That's why I love this Christian saying by this writer who says, this universe is made out of stories, not atoms. Share stories. So just be with it. Ask yourself, how do I deal with those who are adversarial in my family, outside of my family, in this terrible political situation today? By the way, I just made a judgment. For some people, it's a wonderful political situation, but for me, it's terrible. But that's okay. I have a right to say that, you see. Okay, something else a Buddha says quite insistently. Brother Jamal, in your relationship with others, please do not gossip. Do not even listen to gossip. What are his famous words? Dwelling on your brother's or sister's faults multiplies your own. I've really taken that to heart. Dwelling on your brother's or sister's faults multiplies your own. Ask yourself, do I gossip? It'll multiply your own. I love the one by Rumi. And I aspire to take it to heart. Rumi says, veil the faults of others so yours might be veiled. Veil the faults of others so yours might be veiled. Ask yourself, do I do that? I try. One last thing about relationship with others. Be quick to say, I'm sorry if you've done something wrong. To apologize. That's one lesson I've learned from my parents. Don't wait. Please forgive me. I'm sorry. Don't wait. And one poetry which has struck me so much, others say, I don't know why that struck you so much, about forgiving. It's about, Rumi has a poetry who says, my poems resemble the bread of Egypt. My poems resemble the bread of Egypt. One night passes over it, the next day it becomes stale, hard. So gobble them up while they're still fresh. So in my action of, or my aspiration to say, I'm sorry, please forgive me, I am very quick. I don't want one night to pass over it. It becomes much more difficult. Or to tell someone, I love you. Don't wait until it's too late. See, there's a wonderful saying in Sufism, the time is now, the place is here. Start the process. You don't have to finish it up, but start it. Don't procrastinate. I know this very well because I know I'm a procrastinator. I work hard at that. Don't procrastinate too much. Just be with that. How does this apply to your life? In your relationship with others, in your family, outside your family. Okay, relationship with animals. You see, this book tells us you're connected to everyone. The words that Thich Nhat Hanh uses is not just interconnection, interbeing. You're connected whether you know it or not. The story which I've said many times here, a Buddhist story. Buddhist monks love to preach outdoors. So as the Buddhist monk is about to step on the platform, and hundreds of monks are there in the outdoors in the park. But as he's about to step on the dais, a bird in the trees begins to chirp, and it becomes very still. And they all listen to the chirping of the bird, which goes on for some time. And when the chirping finishes, the monk steps down saying, the sermon has been delivered. That interconnection. But ask yourself, all the sages say, do I really treat animals with that bonding of love? Think about, the sages say, think about the modern day sages. Think about the animals on whom we do so many cruel experiments in laboratories. Or a saying by the Beatles, I remember that many years ago. The Beatles had this wonderful line. They said, I don't know if there's a song, but I know one of them said it. if the walls of slaughterhouses were made out of glass, if the walls of slaughterhouses were made out of glass, we'd all be vegetarians. Anyway, not to make a judgment, but I have seen slaughtering of cows, and I've stopped eating beef, but I still eat chicken, It's a habit. It's an addiction, you might say. But I love this story, a true story of, again, it's a laboratory story, so I apologize for those who will be hurt by it. Experimenting on rabbits. And this young girl, her job was to go to all these cages of rabbits and feed them high cholesterol food to find out how this cholesterol affects their health. And then what was amazing was, in the examination, the evidence, everybody, all the rabbits had very high cholesterol, except for one rabbit whose cholesterol was normal continuously. How could that be? That didn't make sense. Each one was fed the same high cholesterol food. It turned out that the young girl who would feed that high cholesterol, there was one particular rabbit she was very attracted to. Before she would feed the high cholesterol food, she would take the rabbit out of the cage, put it to her heart, and just pet the rabbit, sending love to the rabbit. And that rabbit's cholesterol was continuously normal. Just be with it. I'm looking at the time also. I didn't realize so much time has passed. But let me recalibrate my talk. Okay, I must talk about nature. Connection with nature. Prophet Muhammad said, nature is your mother. The earth is like your mother. Honor her, protect her, take care of her. See, when I think of nature, besides that hadith, the meaning saying of the Prophet, I always think of this meeting. I had the great privilege in Japan with my Interfaith Amigos to meet, and I'm sorry I'm forgetting a name, one of those 2 or 3 ladies who established this wonderful community in Scotland. Do you remember? Called Findhorn. And what was the basis of that Findhorn community? It was totally stony. Nothing grew there. But these women went there, they prayed. They sent light and love. And one of them, or 2 of them, or 3 of them were adept in working with what they called those angelic spirits, those devas of nature. And amazingly, in Findhorn, in that stony place, they grew huge cabbages, luscious big tomatoes, all kinds of vegetation. How? By sending light and love to that stony place. Which is why it's one of my, I try to make it a daily practice. I always, besides sending love, this is a wonderful meditative practice. In your meditation, also waking hours, to tell your heart, I love you, you are loved. And also, from the heart, send out light and love to everybody you meet, to stones, to trees. Particularly nature, I send out light and love, and I ask for forgiveness. I say, please forgive us. And if someone say, big deal, no, they have consciousness. It's like, if somebody tells me, who has wronged me, comes and tells me, please forgive me, it'll impact me in a very beautiful, loving, positive way. And the great sages say, if you really love nature, if you want to have a relationship with nature, thank nature for all the lessons it teaches us. You see, there's a wonderful Sufi saying, a great Sufi master who said, the holiest of holy manuscripts is nature. Everything you want to know about life is in nature. You want to talk about love, unconditional love? I love those words of Hafiz. And how does it go? Let's see. Oh. I forget. but it's about unconditional love. I think it goes something like this. Even after all this the earth would die if the sun stopped kissing her. The earth would die if the sun stopped kissing her. But even after all this time, the sun never tells the earth, hey, you owe me. Hafiz says, what happens with a love like that? Remember, this is unconditional love. Rumi has his poetry who says, grass agrees to die and rise up again. Grass agrees to die and rise up again so it can receive a little of the animal's enthusiasm. That love. So ask yourself, what have I learned from nature? Be grateful for that. You see, in my life, so many, my parents, my teachers told me, get over this exclusivity about religion, that holier than thou. But the one metaphor from nature really splashed in my heart when a Sufi master says, all the rivers flow into the ocean. All the rivers, they flow into the ocean. But Jamal, don't mistake the river for the ocean. You might be following one river, but they all flow in the same ocean. About God, what really struck me, splashed in my heart, was his Christian metaphor. Oh, sister almond tree, tell me about God. Oh, sister almond tree, tell me about God. And the almond tree blossomed. Okay, very quickly, I'll just make two more points. I've gone way beyond my time, but Brother Jamal, I told myself, it's okay, Brother Jamal, they'll forgive you. Okay, next one is, it's an important one, the book points out, relationship with the cosmos. We are connected to the stars, to the planets. So very quickly, I want to say, the scientists say they have examined this fantastic whirling, movement, rushing of the planets. And what have they found? There's such beautiful music in the vibrations of the planets as they move. It's like an incredible symphony. You want to connect with that? Sing a song. Do some humming. I just read a few weeks ago that one of the best ways to create happiness is to keep humming. Then I suddenly realized when I was young, my parents said, they heard me once whistling, keep on whistling. So I whistled a lot. And this connects me to the cosmos. Rumi says, music is the sound of the spheres. And we have been part of this harmony before. And all this singing, this treble and bass keeps our remembering fresh. Ask yourself, how do I connect with the cosmos? Have you ever looked at the stars, the planets, and realized what a small, tiny speck we are in the universe? Can I be with that awe and wonder? That awe and wonder is beautiful. That really ennobles, enriches us. And if you don't have that awe and wonder, if you read Taoism, I love that verse in Taoism. When people lose their sense of awe and wonder, that is when they turn to religion. Meaning to the institution of religion. Okay, last one, and I will be very short here. My connection with God, or forget whatever you call God, unutterable, inconceivable, indescribable, that's what the Hindus call it. Unutterable, inconceivable, indescribable. I love the Hindu definition of God. The mind cannot think it, but is that by which the mind thinks. The tongue cannot utter it, but is that by which the tongue utters. The ears cannot hear it, but is that by which the ears hear. I remember, this just reminds me very quickly, when I first came to Seattle, I was not the main speaker, but I was one of the supportive speakers, and I talked about God, and I was saying all these wonderful things. God is all compassionate, all merciful. After it was finished, a very beautiful lady, she picked up my hand, and this was in Sandpoint, just opposite Children's Hospital. And I was excited. She was a beautiful lady. I thought she's interested in me. I was single at that time. And she took me by the hand, and she wouldn't let go. And I, whoa, this is great. And she took me, to Children's Hospital. But then she began to show me all those children. Cancer, dying, just dead. She was furious, actually. Who are you to tell me that God is all compassionate, all loving? Where was God? Thank God I kept quiet. Totally quiet. But I thought about it, and then I began to realize all those stories I had heard. Like the famous story from the traditions that, there's a pious person who goes or travels around the world and sees so much suffering. Finally sees a dead orphan child, just starved to death. And the pious person breaks down and says, oh God, please, God, where are you? You're all aware. If you really exist, do something, God. And that night, God appears in a vision and says, beloved one, I did do something. Beloved one, I did do something. I created you. So my question to myself is, Brother Jamal, I might complain so much what's happening here, there, suffering, so much suffering. What are you doing in your own little orbit? To the other question, why is there so much suffering? I'm asked this all the time. I have no answer. If there is a God, why is there so much suffering? Why do terrible things? It's a whole book by a rabbi. Why do terrible things happen to good people? But I remember one story from the Islamic spiritual tradition, that before God sent all of unborn humanity down to earth, God gathered all the unborn humanity and said, before you go down to earth, remember it's a world of opposites. There's joys, there will be sorrows. Look up here. Oh, what do I see? There's a huge cosmic tree, and on the limbs of the branches are packages of different sizes. Some are small, some are medium, some are large. What are those packages? Allah says, those are packages of suffering. Before you go down to earth, you have a choice. Pick any one of them. The nobler ones among us chose the larger packages so others would suffer less. I repeat, the nobler ones among us chose the larger packages so others would suffer less. So the Sufis say, the spiritual teachers say, when you see someone suffering, don't ask all those questions. Why? Was it karmic? This, that. Just be grateful and be of authentic service. I've told this story many times, and I repeat it many times for myself to really go deep into that. But I get letters from all over different places, Australia, here, there. The one letter I love very much, he said, I have a beautiful wife, young, absolutely pure beyond what you can imagine. She has cancer. She's dying. I am so angry at God. What has she done? Why is God snatching her away from me? But when I read what you actually heard me, when I heard what you said about those packages, for the first time something softened in my heart. And I told myself, oh my God, my wife, she's a noble lady. She chose the larger package. And it is incumbent on me just to be of authentic service to her. He says this for the first time has brought, not complete obviously, but a lot of consolation to my heart. Just be with that for a few moments. I'll say just one more thing, I'll finish. So how do I connect with God? Praising God, thanking God. As I said, God doesn't become holy, we become holy. And when we engage in prayers very often, it's not for God. It is, it's good for God, I suppose. But it's for us. We remain in what is called a prayerful state. This is very important. See, Muslims pray 5 times or 3 times a day. Hindus, Buddhists, Christians, you pray as often as you want to. What is the beauty of this? Besides that you become holy, it keeps you in a prayerful state. You're less inclined to get enmeshed in dramas and melodramas of life. And what's the best way of connecting to God? Prayers, remembrance. But the one I love the best is through silence. And that story, which I again repeat all the time, is a Hindu story of that young child who asked the father, Father, this fruit tree, where does it come from? Father says, go deep into it. Examine, take the fruit, look inside. The son cuts the fruit. Says, Father, I see only little seeds. Well, cut the seed. Father, I cut the seed, I see nothing, it's empty. From that emptiness, that silence, tattvam asi, that art thou. From that emptiness comes everythingness. From that silence, from that void of that seed, literally and metaphorically, comes everything. Brother Jamal, you want to connect to whatever you call God, go into that void, that silence. So be silent for a few moments. I'll look at the program, see what's the next. Just go into silence. Good. It works very well. Go into silence, and I look in the time, a very short meditation. Close your eyes. Let's do this Buddhist meditation, the first one. For the Buddha, his main meditation was focusing on the breath and just being present with the breath. That's all. Be mindful of your in-breath and your out-breath. If your attention strays, absolutely okay, lovingly, compassionately, bring it back to your breath. And now gently letting go of this. And now, focusing on the heart. I love that beautiful saying where Spirit tells us, God tells us, Goddess tells us, beloved one, says Spirit, I cannot be contained in the space of the earth. I cannot be contained in the space of the heavens, but I can be contained in the space of the pure, loving heart. Spirit is outside of us and also inside of us. For a few seconds, focus on this infinite space and plant words of beauty like, I love you. You are loved. I love you. I really love you. You can add other words, thank you. I am so grateful. Even more, please help me. Please help me. I need help. I love you with feeling. No matter how awkward it might feel initially, I love you. You are loved. Thank you. I'm so grateful. Please help me. And now stop saying anything at all. Just become very still. And for me, this is a beautiful meditation in my times of closing my eyes, being silent, as also in my waking hours. I do it all the time. Two things, telling my heart, I love you. And the other one I want to share with you is, as you focus on the heart, pour out light and love. So stop saying anything at all about I love you. Focus on the heart and send out light and love in an outward expansive direction. Again, I do this in meditation as also in my waking hours as often as I can. Just, first of all, telling my heart I love you or you are loved, and then pouring out light and love to trees, to stones, to people, to cars, to nature. Just pouring out light and love, knowing that the more light and love I pour out, the more light and love I become filled up with. So I'm repeating myself, but this is my most favorite exercise, telling the heart I love you and pouring out light and love in meditation, also waking hours. Okay, bring it to a halt. Let's chant. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. La ilaha illallahu. La ilaha illallahu. Now we ask our talented musicians to play some music for us. Katy and Bayan. Yes, let's give them a hand. Yes, give them a hand.
With all this light in our heart, thank you. This is a Baha'i prayer for the oneness of humanity, and that we can realize and put into action our interconnectedness throughout the world. O thou kind Lord, unite all, let the religions agree, and make the nations one, so that they may see each other as one family, and the whole earth as one home. May they live together in perfect harmony. O thou kind Lord, unite all. May they live together in perfect harmony. O thou kind Lord, unite all. Unite all. If you'd like to sing along with me, the words are there. I'd love it. O thou kind Lord, unite all. Let the religions agree, and make the nations one, so that they may see each other as one family, and the whole earth as one home. May they live together in perfect harmony. O thou kind Lord, unite all. May they live together in perfect harmony. O thou kind Lord, unite all. O thou kind Lord, unite all. Let the religions agree, and make the nations one, so that they may see each other as one family, and the whole earth as one home. May they live together in perfect harmony. O thou kind Lord, unite all. May they live together in perfect harmony. O thou kind Lord, unite all. Unite all. Unite all. Unite all. Thank you all.
Thank you so much, Sister Katy and Brother Bayan. Let's give them another wonderful round of applause. My dear friends, now it's time for the offering, and rest assured, we are coming to a close now for sure. If you don't mind just passing this around. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Thank you, brother. Thank you so much. And please know we are utterly grateful for any offering, material, prayer-wise, sending light and love to us. As a plate is being passed around, let me tell you, because of the time, that gatherings, there's a wonderful gathering happening today in Seattle First Baptist Church. One of our congregants, John Malcolmson, he's being celebrated because he's just been ordained to be a chaplain. And I hope some of you are some of you going? I'm going, yeah, at 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock in Seattle First Baptist Church. Then we have all kinds of programs which are listed on Interfaith Community Sanctuary.org. You know, programs of Native American tradition, Course in Miracles, Whirling Dervishes, study of Rumi, practice of silence, wonderful movie nights. You had one just on Friday, movie nights, and other programs which really aspire to bring people together. And Elizabeth, who has just been voted as our there's Elizabeth behind you as our president of the board. She and her beloved husband, thank you, Bayan, thank you so much. Beloved husband Rashid, they are doing wonderful programs to bring people together, to get to know the other on a human level. There are lots of other programs, events listed on interfaithcommunitysanctuary.org. Am I missing something that is urgent? If not, let me look at the program, what it says. It says, Jamal, stop talking and... Okay, we say, now we say, then with that we say goodbye, sayonara to all those wonderful people.